Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quick Break Games, and today we're playing some Lego Party because SMG Studio recently released a new patch. This is patch 1.2. It's the first major update for the game. They fixed some bugs and also added a few new features, so we're going to go ahead and check it out. Let's party. Now, the first new thing that they added in this update is if we pause it here in the main menu and scroll over to audio settings, down here at the bottom, you're going to have a new option that says mute host. So you can turn this on or off. So this is going to mute the TED Talker and Page Turner host. I guess some people are getting kind of annoyed with them. So now you can independently mute them. So we're going to keep it on mute just to see how that plays now that we have that option. But that is a new setting that you have here. So now back at the main menu, if we head here to the wardrobe, we should have a couple new characters at our disposal now. So we're going to go over here to my minifigures. So right now I'm playing as the banana suit fan. So if we scroll down over here on the left, we now have Skeleton Suit Fan. This is a new character that should be given to all players as part of the new update. It's like supposed to be part of a Halloween update, but unfortunately they didn't get the update out in time for Halloween. It's kind of a early November update, but I guess you can use it next year. So if we scroll down, we should have another new character. Yep, right down here at the bottom. The classic Space Blue character has been added to the game. So this will just be given to all players. So let's go ahead and select that one. Pretty cool character there. So that is the new character. So now we're going to act like we're going to play a game here. We're going to local play. So here we are in the lobby, and this is kind of the main new feature that they added in this update is they completely overhauled the difficulty levels. So now you still have normal and hard difficulties like you had before, but now there's a new expert difficulty that you can select to make the CPUs even harder if you want. Easy difficulty has been temporarily removed, so it should be added back in a later update, but they're just kind of doing a big overhaul of the difficulty options in this game. So now we have normal, hard, and a new expert difficulty. Normal has been made easier, I think, in several minigames based on the patch notes, so we're going to have to test that out. So easy difficulty will be like even easier. That should be helpful if you have like young kids that you're playing with. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to set each CPU as a different difficulty, so expert, hard, and then we'll make green normal, just so we can kind of see how each CPU plays in a few of these minigames. So now we're going to hop right in, and you'll notice here you can still see the subtitles at the bottom for Page Turner and TED Talker, but they're not actually making any noise because I remember I turned on that mute option. So it's interesting that they still have subtitles, but they're not actually talking anymore. Alright, so let's jump into the minigames. So they've overhauled the AI on several of the minigames, I think about 10 of them. One of the ones I did want to check out is here at the bottom, Very Tall Race. This was one where I remember the AI was just super good at it. It was really hard to beat them. So let's check it out now that they've put in these fixes. Alright, so here we are. So remember, blue is on expert, yellow is on hard, and then green is on normal difficulty. So we'll get an idea of how each difficulty works. So normally when you ready up, you can just hit LB and RB. That's still the same, but now they've actually added an additional option where you can now hit LT and RT to ready up as well. It doesn't say anything about that, but it does work. So if you're on PlayStation, that would be L2 and R2. So there we go, I just did it, and it worked just fine. Alright, so here we go. I'm not super good at this minigame, but I just want to see how good the AI does now. Because before, the AI was like almost impossible to beat on like any difficulty. Oh, I'm doing pretty good so far. Oh, fell down. So remember, blue is expert. So we'll see if we can beat the expert. Okay, I fell over there. Normal is pretty bad. He's like lagging behind pretty far. So remember, they made normal a little bit easier with this update, so I guess that makes sense. And yeah, blue is absolutely demolishing me at this point. He's about to knock me off screen. I feel like this minigame is so hit or miss. Like, sometimes I'm doing decent at it, and sometimes I'm just terrible. Yeah, the expert difficulty just absolutely demolished me. Wow. Yeah, that was pretty tough. I guess that makes sense because it is expert difficulty, but at the same time, like, expert is like on a whole nother level compared to hard. Like, hard wasn't even close to expert, so yeah, if you want a challenge, definitely select expert. That's going to be tough to beat, at least on this minigame. So another minigame where they modified the CPUs is on the Quick Bricks minigame, the one that I like to joke that's named after me. So we're going to check this out. So I'm pretty good at this minigame. Before, even like the hard AI, I felt like was pretty slow. So we'll see how good the expert AI is at Quick Bricks now. Let's see if he can keep up with me. Alright, here we go. So we got AAABXY. Gotta focus on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120 Oh, I messed up there. That was bad. Alright, I was still able to win. Pretty easily. So blue is on expert difficulty and he's still going. So I feel like the CPUs are pretty much the same as they were before, because I would always finish quite a bit earlier than them, and I'm still finishing quite a bit earlier than them, and I even like made a major mistake there where I messed up a few times in a row. So yeah, I don't know. The CPU balancing still does seem a little bit off to me. Maybe I'm just like abnormally good at this minigame. I don't know, but the very tall race, like I got absolutely annihilated by the CPU. So I don't know. Maybe the AI is still like abnormally good at some of the minigames. And I think the last minigame we're going to check out in this video is Stop, Drop, and Side Scroll. So this is another one where the CPUs have been rebalanced a bit. I don't remember them being like too crazy difficult on this one. I don't really remember playing against the CPUs too much, but we'll see. We'll see how good each one of them does on this one. This is kind of the obstacle course one. Wow, we just completely ran through that maze like all the way on the right side. That was crazy. That was like the easiest maze of all time. There we go, I'm up ahead. Go through here. Remember, blue is on expert difficulty. Oh, there we go, I was able to beat them all. Sweet. And wow, green, the normal AI, actually came in second over the expert. The expert's actually in last right now. Wow. And normal was supposed to be made easier, and they came in second. Expert came in last. Dude, that's crazy. That is pretty bizarre. Okay, well. The CPUs are pretty all over the place, it seems. Alright, so another change they made in this update has to do with the Brick Battle 2v2 minigame. So they supposedly made the CPUs more competent. That was definitely an issue. That was actually an issue I brought up in my review for the game. So we're going to try that out. Let's see, which minigame should we do? Let's try the feeling pucky one. Should I put the... Let's just do random. Let's just make it fair. So all these CPUs are on a different difficulty. So I have... Who do I have on my team? I didn't see that. Let's see. So I have the green guy on my team who's the normal CPU. Interesting. So I'm going up against a hard and an expert CPU with a normal on my team. So we'll see how this goes. So this is a pretty basic game here. We're just trying to get the puck into the opponent's goal. Okay, so far my teammate is doing pretty good, and they're doing pretty good at defending. There we go. So we just scored there. Okay, he's doing pretty good guarding it. Oh, they just went right in between us. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, dude, that was terrible. Okay, the CPUs are beating me so far. But it's not like I'm the world's greatest feeling pucky player either, so... Oh, dude, we just got wrecked. So the CPUs definitely just beat me there, but it is an expert CPU, so that does make sense. So I'm feeling pretty good about the difficulty there. My teammate didn't feel like he was absolutely horrible. Again, he's on normal CPU difficulty as well, so I wouldn't expect him to be the best. So yeah, I feel pretty good about that one. So now we're actually going to jump into a full challenge mode game here, and we're going to jump into the Ninjago zone. We'll just do the minimum amount of rounds. So this one had a change with the Ninjago bosses. Remember, there would be bosses around this map, and there would be a little mini game where you have to hit the A or X button at the right time in order to get a free gold brick to defeat the boss. And I always found that minigame to be pretty easy. Like the little spinner would be pretty slow. Like it was very easy to land on the gold brick spot. So we're going to jump into this game, and I'm going to have to play a little bit to get to one of those spots. But once we do, we're going to see how challenging it is, if they made it harder or easier to defeat the boss. It just says they adjusted it. It doesn't really say they made it harder or easier. So we're going to see just exactly what they did here. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we are about to hit one of the Ninjago bosses. So they supposedly redid the timing on this, and yet I can tell it does seem like it's a bit faster. So I think they did make it a little bit more challenging. We'll see if I can hit this on my first try at it. Boom, we did it. So it's not like insanely difficult or anything like that, but they did kind of modify the timing on that little wheel spinning around. So yeah, that's the new timing on the Ninjago bosses here in the Ninjago Challenge Zone map. So while we're in the middle of one of these challenge zones, I do want to check out the new save game UI. So supposedly when you quit now, the save game should now show up in the main menu. So would you like to save your progress before quitting the main menu? Save games may be resumed at any point by selecting load game from the main menu. All right, let's hit save. So this should appear at the main menu, whereas it didn't before. I didn't play too many local games where I like came back to it later, so I don't recall where it showed up before, but there it is, right here in the main menu, load game. So then we can just use this. It shows you the standings of everything, shows you when you last saved it, and then you can just jump right in. You can also delete your game there. Very cool, and you can have up to 20 saved games at a time. That's pretty crazy. So really glad that they added this to the main menu in the new update. So guys, that's going to be all the main new changes here in the version 1.2 update for LEGO Party. Lots of good stuff. There's some other stuff I didn't go over, like one of the things is they fixed the performance when you're doing the builds in the theme park map. There was always like a stutter, at least on the Xbox, whenever you built a new section of the map in the theme park, so they fixed that as well. There's also going to be more updates coming down the line that add new minifigure characters. The easy difficulty is going to be added back into the game in the next update, so a lot to look forward to. I think it would be cool if they did paid DLC in the future. I'd definitely pay for a new challenge map or two to be added to the game, or new minigames, whatever they want to do. And then also on X, they did confirm that the pre-order bonus pack that includes 5 characters that will be made available at a later date for anybody to purchase. So if you missed out on that, just stay tuned. It's going to be coming. So that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to give this video a like if you learned something new. Dislike it if not. Subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.